One now, every day, every week, every month, or then the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on a trending fresh. Okay, when after something gave me, if you Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trend one just from nowhere, video trend walk again. All this is cheerful before you know, within a day, within the next day, if another thing will happen that will make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu begin to trend again. This is why he's now the prophet of all time. One now, this particular video of this protest, now trending everywhere on the media. If I broke on an Igbo came in this protest, he was in Igbo. This is happening in Yoruba land. If I am in Yoruba land, I'm on the particular state. Man, I be covering him. Go in a comment section, drop it on the comment section. And again, another big news I know Nnamdi but Cubana has reportedly deleted everything but APC City Boys. Opposed to his Instagram handle. One now, I saw this particular update na handle Ibere TV. They posted the update this evening. Open you get check up on Obi Cubana's page on Instagram. Also got check. Can I confirm all of this news? Man, I know fear all the kwako because everything about City Boys opposed to his Instagram page is nowhere to be found again. Or then for a video of where Pella was actually trying to ask Cubana chief priest some question. Or there's something about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'll look for that video and bring it in another post in Game. But for now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is making the headlines everywhere again. Professor Nnamdi Yoruba Simba, they have to do this matching. How we stand there in solidarity with him. I just pray and wish that every other Yoruba person will have a kind of rethink, a kind of brain setting that will make them realize that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Abro, an ordinary freedom fighter. He is a God sent. He is a prophet. He has seen all these things in a minute today. And everything is playing out. Simba, a protest in solidarity with him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trend is in everywhere. Everywhere you got Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I also saw this particular video now of Nnamdi. They said it's happening in Nnewi. They are marching in solidarity or ahead of the May 30th Biafra Heroes Day. If I made it today, this is happening today. You go now the Biafra 30th of May the Heroes Day on the 30th of May. It will be the time that has never happened in the history. Because on that day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Senator Yana Mike Anod ga unveil the Sokoto Declaration. So, this year garden Okiche. I'll play you guys some of video of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A part of the video now for during his court sitting, Federal High Court sitting. And when a part, made debate, some things. A part he spoke that didn't trend on the media. I'll play you guys a video. Gonna watch ya. The man. Some people feeling make some Ndi hits. Listen to the man. Listen to his wisdom. His level of understanding is just top notch. Watch the video. I'll be right back.
My Lord, I am the defendant, applicant, appearing for myself in person, and I most respectfully adopt as my argument in support of this very motion on notice the following processes which I personally filed and served on the prosecution. An order, this motion, my Lord, was filed on the 12th day of November, praying this honorable court for the following reliefs. An order referring the substantial constitutional questions raised in this trial to the Court of Appeal pursuant to section 2952 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and an order staying further proceedings pending the determination of those referred questions. The supporting affidavit was deposed to by my younger brother, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, together with all annexures. My Lord, my written address filed in support of the motion, wherein I adopted and argued the three jurisdictional issues submitted to your Lordship for your determination. There was also a further and better affidavit and my reply on points of law filed in answer to the respondent's counter affidavit and written address. My Lord, I respectfully urge your Lordship to deem all these processes as argued and to grant the reliefs exactly as set out on the motion paper. And in a brief overview of what is contained in my motion, my Lord, my contention is very simple. That ab initio, this court lacks jurisdiction to try me, that this very court is a material defiance of an appellate court judgment, the Supreme Court, with specific regards to count 7, which does not exist in the laws of this very country, and which the Supreme Court mandated this very court to amend. That hasn't happened. The presence of count 7 on this charge sheet, my lord, nullifies this entire proceedings completely and totally, because count 7, my lord, does not exist in the laws of this very country. One of the points of law, I will make specific references to the rule that came down from the Supreme Court, where my lord thereby explicitly stated that count 7 should be changed. That hasn't been done, my lord, and this court is in contempt of the Supreme Court's binding order. My lord, the entire argument of the respondent, I'm sorry to say, collapses on just one single point, not many, just one. The Supreme Court's pronouncement on the statute of the written law is immovable. It is enshrined in the Constitution of this very country, unless a law is written, unless it is written, defining that very offense, no trial, no conviction can ever take place. And it is my submission, my lord, that this very morning, as we stand in this very hallowed chamber, count 7 does not exist. And not only the repealed law, that will come later. Count 7, my lord, destroys this entire trial, because Supreme Court gave an explicit order which wasn't adhered to.
The consultant, you have to go to the defendant to tell him the procedure here. We have the practice of front-loading. I think he has filed his written addresses in support of all this motion. So, it's not to repeat what he has stated in his written addresses, but to state the relief is sit for, and just use a minute each in respect of each motion for adoption.
Okay. But it wasn't, they didn't reply to it. Yes. I am most grateful, my lord. I am, without flogging a dead horse, I am asking this very honorable court, my lord, to please kindly grant my prayers as contained in the motion for reference to the appeal court, and may I also identify the affidavit in support. It is only a 6-paragraph affidavit, my lord, deposed to by my younger brother, Prince Emmanuel Kanu, also dated the 12th day of November 2025. There is an accompanying affidavit of urgency, which was deposited by my humble self, also filed on the 12th day of November 2025, and also a written address. My lord, in support of the motion on notice, praying for the orders I had earlier outlined, that too was dated on the 12th day of November, my lord. May I most graciously ask my lord to grant these prayers. Thank you very much.
What about the other 2 motions?
I should move them at some time?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've made an order consolidating the hearing of the 3 motions.
Okay. The next one, my lord, is an application, a notice of my commitment to file a final written address, which was dated the 11th day of November and filed on the same 11th day of November. It is accompanied, my lord, by grounds upon which this very application is predicated, and the grounds are 4 in number, my lord, and I went on to elucidate the body of objection and then the constitutional foundation and jurisdictional limits of this very court.
You have the ground stated?
Yes, my lord, you may. Ground number 1, my lord, states here, the defendant, having called evidence through cross-examination of all the complainants' witnesses, has given evidence and entitled to the submission of those points through a final written address. So I have actually entered my defense, my Lord. What I did not do is to call a witness, because the evidence tendered by the prosecution were surgically demolished. The right to grant to, my Lord, the right to final address is a fundamental constitutional right integral to fair hearing under Section 36, Sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution, and no court has jurisdiction to unilaterally order its waiver without the express, informed, and voluntary consent of the right holder, which is myself. The third ground, any order directing or implying a waiver or final address constitutes a breach of fair hearing, my Lord, which goes to the root of the court's jurisdiction and renders the entire proceedings a nullity. The court, ground number 4, the court lacks jurisdiction to extinguish or dispense with mandatory procedural stage of criminal adjudication, such as a final written address, as this would amount to an unlawful assumption of power beyond the limits prescribed by the Constitution and extant laws. And round number 4, for reference purposes, my Lord, Section 36(1) of the 1999 Constitution, which I'm sure the court has taken judicial notice of. Those are my grounds, my Lord, in respect of the notice, seeking this court's discretion to allow me to file my final written address. Having entered my defense, I move that this very notice be adopted, my Lord, in its entirety. The third and the very last one is the issue of bail, my Lord, the issue of bail. This was dated the 17th day of November 2025 and filed on the 17th day of November 2025. It's a very simple one. It is a notice, my Lord, brought pursuant to sections 35(1), 35(4), and 36(12) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, sections 158, 162, and 165 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, and under the inherent jurisdiction of this very noble court, I am praying, my Lord, for an order admitting me on bail, the defendant applicant to bail on liberal terms, pending the determination of the invalid charge presently before this court, and order, my Lord, declaring that the continued detention of the defendant applicant, my humble self, in the absence of a valid subsisting charge under a written law in force, is unconstitutional, null and void, my Lord, and for any other orders that my noble Lord may deem fit to make under the circumstance. This is supported by an affidavit of 9 paragraphs, deposed to by Prince Emmanuel Kanu, and also by a written address, which I urge, my Lord, to accept its adoption. Honorable Lord.
Yes. You moved the 3 applications?
I have, my Lord.
Thank you.
Thank you.